What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchan here back again with another Pokemon trading card game, Online Deck Tech. Today we're taking a look at Gengar EX, another Stage 2 from Temporal Forces. It's got a lot of cool attributes and you can make a really fun deck around it, so I just wanted to show off my list today. It's got the Gnawing Curse ability, which is pretty interesting, letting you put 2 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon whenever your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to that Pokemon. So decks like Chien-Pao, which will only attach energy from the hand, are going to struggle a lot. And you can even make their life more of a challenge thanks to the Tricky Steps attack, which has 160 damage, and you may move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their benched Pokemon. Now we're using a TM Evo build to get this deck set up properly. We got our Gastlys and our Haunters combined with our Bidoof and our Bibarels, Arvens and TM evolutions, so we can evolve into our Pokemon pretty easily. We also have some additional disruption in here, which is really fun to play with. Crushing Hammers are not used very often anymore, but they are incredibly fun and effective when you flip heads at discarding your opponent's energy. And we also have a card that not many people have really played with a lot either, and that's Giovanni's Charisma. From the 151 set, you can put an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand, and then accelerate an energy from your hand to your active Pokemon. So really good at powering up Gengar and disrupting your opponent at the same time. We've got some counter catchers in here, and we've also got, standard stuff you find in TM Evo decks. We got Ionos, we got a Force Seal Stone, and a Lumineon, and we also have ourselves some Dark Patch to get a little bit more energy into play and accelerate where we need to. In terms of energy, it's only 7 Dark Energy, but we also have Neo Upper Energy as our ace spec of choice. I really like Neo Upper Energy in my Stage 2 decks right now. It's really strong when you don't have a Pokemon that can accelerate to itself. So Neo Upper Energy will let you get that Gengar able to attack in a single attachment, which is really nice and really clutch. This is a really fun deck to play. You can really get some saucy wins with it, and just disruption is always a fun time. So we're gonna just hop right into the games, get some dubs with Gengar EX. Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchan channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. You can track your entire collection and see its value, build decks quickly and easily, create custom wish lists, and so much more. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code HITMON to get $5 off a pro membership. These are some great products for some great prices. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, let's get right back into the video. Our opponent is calling the coin flip here. They chose heads, so naturally tails never fails. They're gonna flip that coin and it's gonna be tails. So we're gonna choose to go second here. Thankfully, no issues with our flipping of the coin. Tails hasn't been super kind to us lately in the videos, so I'm glad to see them come around today. And now this is a decent enough hand. I actually can't really complain about this too much. Starting the Gastly, some energies to attach, energies to put in the discard. We are going to be playing against some sort of future deck, which can be a bit challenging, but we can move their energies onto their Iron Crowns continuously, get some easy 2-shots, we're Stage 2 deck, so hard for them to KO. It's going to be pretty good. Gotta remember that Gengar isn't weak to grass, it's actually weak to fighting, which is really important. And we got a really good setup going here too. We have Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We can use Ultra Ball to actually net us guaranteed the Arven. The only thing about putting Lumineon into play is that it can get amped for 3 prizes, which is a little bit unfortunate for us. Them getting rid of the Iono tells me they have a supporter in their hand already that they could use, and we're just going to see what they decide to grab here. It's going to be Miraidon, Iron Crown, all that good stuff. And now hopefully we can kind of just target down these Iron Crowns, and we can literally just go 2-2-2 pretty easily. They're going to attach to the Miraidon, and it's going to be what looks like a pass from them. Now we're going to just see what we draw into. We get the Arven off the top, which is pretty solid. I'll just start by discarding that, getting some more energy. And now we're going to be able to do a TM Evo play. We have our Haunters, we have our Bibarels. Prize the Gengar EX, which is a little bit tough. Also prize the Hammer, but we do have our TM Evolutions in the deck. So we're going to go for our ideal setup here. We got Arven, so we can do double Buddy Poffin, and TM Evo, which is really what you want right now. And then Buddy-Buddy is going to grab us a Bidoof and a Gastly. The second Buddy-Buddy, you're going to guess it, Bidoof and a Gastly. Not much more we need to really, worry about here with this hand. We'll stick to this layout, it's okay. This Gastly has free retreat, but you can't Dark Patch to it, which is important to note. Then we'll go ahead, attach the TM Evolution, and time to TM evolve these lads on the bench. We have Ultra Ball to guarantee us the Gengar. We have Ultra Ball to guarantee us the Bibarel if we want to draw into it. And then boom, we are ready to go. I wanted to give us the pivot in case we decide to make a change of plans here. We have the Neo upper energy, so we'll be able to attack. You know, they can peak acceleration, and I have a feeling they're probably going to go for an Iono or like an Arven here. And Arven seems the most likely because they ditched the Iono, but they have the Future Booster in their hand right now. They can retreat, give this Miraidon a brand new home. And there's a heavy baton. Thankfully, we have what I like to call the heavy baton eliminator. It's called the Lost Vacuum, and it's really, really clutch, especially in this matchup when they're trying to preserve their energies. If they even know what Gengar EX... oh, excuse me. They're trying to preserve their energies if they even know what a Gengar EX does. So they're going to retreat right into the Miraidon here. And Miraidon is going to go ahead and start to power up this Iron Hands with peak acceleration, a Future Booster on the crown to stop it from getting locked, and they're going to attach to that hands, so it's going to be a pretty big threat once it gets powered up, but thankfully we'll be able to remove the Miraidon, remove the Iron Hands from play, move energies off of it. That's kind of my angle here. I don't want any business with amping and all that stuff. I don't want any of that to happen to us. We have the boss in our hand. We basically have everything we need right now. We'll lead this Gastly so we can retreat it for free. And yeah, I'm thinking right now, we're gonna Ultra Ball, get rid of the darkness energy, and we want to go for a boss play for sure. So maybe the Arven is the card to ditch here. Yeah, I think so. And then we'll go ahead and grab our good pal Gengar. Gengar is going to come down. Gnawing Curse will make it so we can a little more easily knock these guys out, but the tricky steps is the key, moving these energies around. Again, Gengar is weak to fighting. Important to note, Iron Leaves won't one-shot it. And now we're going to just boss up this hands right away. It's now stuck in the active and potentially unable to attack. Let's go for the Industrious Incisors first, though. We get a switch. We get some other stuff. Okay. Nothing too crazy. Debating if I want to do anything with this. I'm definitely going to retreat. This is the power of Neo upper energy here. And maybe, I think I do want to go for an Ultra Ball, ditch the Iono and the Switch. We've gotten rid of a lot of supporters already, which kind of sucks, but I do want to get the Haunter into play and ready to go, because if they KO this Bibarel, for example, if they're even able to do so, we can at least hit them with a second Tricky Steps and then remove them from play. So we'll go ahead and move the Lightning Energy to the Iron Crown. Now, they're going to basically need, you know, to find, they can attach Lightning Energy and Arm Press us, but then we'll Tricky Steps and get rid of them afterwards, and that will be that. What I want to avoid here is the potential of an Amp on the Bibarel, because if they Arm Press the Bibarel, that's okay. They're still a turn behind in a sense. Like if their goal is to just go for an Amp, Arm Press, Amp, for example, now they need to go for like an Arm Press, then an Arm Press and an Amp, and an Arm Press again, right? So we add an attack to their attack pattern, and that's going to be able to help us in the long run. I could have bossed up the Iron Crowns, for example, but I only play, you know, I play one boss and two counter catcher, so that's a really tough angle to manage. I think getting their attackers dealt with easily and swiftly is probably the best call. Now our opponent, they're going to attach the energy for turn, so it's going to be an Arm Press angle, but the Gnawing Curse is going to knock them down a peg or two, and that's not going to be able to really get them into KO range. It's not going to do much this matchup. Here comes the Arven, though, and the Arven's likely going to grab an Electric Generator, so they can start you know, prepping this benched Iron Hands. But what they don't know is, I should have checked if it was in the deck to find my Lost Vacuum. They are going to power up this hands pretty sufficiently with that Electric Generator, but we'll see what exactly we're able to do here. Definitely going to be saving the Giovanni's Charisma for a little bit later, because I want to go for a like Tricky Steps, move an energy, plus Giovanni's Charisma and energy away. Alternatively, a what's it called? Crushing Hammer will be very useful for us. But for now, I think I'm going to start off with the Industrious Incisors, try and find a way to get that Lost Vacuum. And we do get the Lost Vacuum, which is really, really nice. So I will just Lost Vacuum away the baton, stop them from really getting anything going here. And honestly, I could just not Iono, but I think, unfortunately, the Iono is the right play. I want to get some energies on this Gengar over here, and energies I did find. And I did want to actually get myself another Bibarel established, so we can absolutely go for that here. We'll Ultra Ball, we'll grab the other Bibarel. Getting the last Gastly down would be nice. We can recycle one of these Gengars and use it later on. Don't want to put Lumineon into play, as I said. And here is the Industrious Incisors. Gonna let us draw some more cards. We can use Buddy-Buddy, and we'll actually go ahead Super Rod right now. Just get some of these back. Again, we should theoretically be getting the Gengar off the prizes anyway at some point, so we'll just get the Gastly and the Skwovet down. And that's a pretty solid board if I've ever seen one. Don't necessarily need these rare candies right now. We'll stash them away for later. And we're going to go ahead, draw a Dark Patch, which is really good. Now this is an interesting play. We didn't play another Dark Patch. Okay, it might be in my best interest to retreat this Gengar here. And I think it is. Let's go for the Dark Patch here. Put the energy on that Gengar. We have a lot of dig. And we'll actually retreat the new Upper Energy Boom. We'll Tricky Steps here. Now, I don't want to move any of these energies off of the Pokemon. I just want to leave them. They can all go down with the hands. It's not going to be getting transferred to the other Iron Hands. And now they're not able to KO this Gengar. However, they can, like, Arm Press and then Amp again. Thankfully, we have another Dark Patch that we just pulled off the prize cards here. So we're going to be able to establish this other Gastly. But another cool option we can do, we can actually get rid of the Gengar that is damaged with the Collapsed Stadium. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. That could actually be pretty interesting. My only reservation with that is if we actually get, you know, kind of KO'd and then we don't find the Gengar off the prizes, we're a little bit screwed. Our Gastlys and our Haunters, for that matter, don't have enough to KO Iron Crowns. So yeah, this turn we actually are able to, you know, take the turn off a little bit. Whenever they attach an energy from their hand, Gnawing Curse will activate 2 times, and they'll get some residual damage on them. And I'm thinking now maybe what we try and do is we try and go for the Crown play. That could be pretty interesting. We could try... Oh, we can't. We used the boss already. We can see maybe they have a Counter Catcher Amp on this Gengar, or even a Counter Catcher KO. Then we can Counter Catcher them again. They have the Arven, so they could even just Prime Catcher KO us. That's also a possibility if they decide to do that, which might actually be better for me. I actually would kind of prefer that. I'd prefer them to chase it. There's the Counter Catcher. I do prefer them to chase that, so then we can activate our Counter Catcher and get rid of something like the Iron Crown. You know, you can get rid of my Gengar. I'm going to prepare my Gastly on the bench, and then from there we'll be able to get a lot of damage on the board. And then the only, you know, tough part is going to be finding the last, the last KOs here. Another Iron Hand's going down on the bench. They're going to peak acceleration, it looks like. And yeah, this is going to be a challenge because basically what they're aiming to do, I think, you know, we get the Gnawing Curse, which is really, really good. Hitting them 2 times. Basically, I think what they're going to be aiming to do here is they're going to want to, you know, peak acceleration, set up double hands, and then go for an Arm Press, plus an Amp on the last Gengar, which is going to be a little bit challenging for us to deal with when we don't have our last Gengar for backup. Now, it's possible, you know, we can do a lot of tricky shenanigans here. We can put this Collapsed into play, force them to get rid of one of those Iron Crowns, making their damage a little more wonky. We could definitely do that. I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. I'll definitely drop the Gastly, go for the Dark Patch, you know, prep our little fella right here. I do think I like the idea of the Collapsed because we force them to just get rid of a resource, right? And yeah, it's going to be one of the Crowns most likely. I'm going to get rid of the Gastly. We don't really need it at this point. And once again, this is pretty interesting. They get rid of a Crown, which seems about right. And we're going to draw some cards. Now, nothing too crazy here. We can attach to the Gastly. We can attach the TM Evo. We can even attach the 4 Seal Stone. It's not really going to be doing much. Then I do want to go for a Nest Stash here, get rid of this, draw some more cards, do that kind of thing. We get another energy. Now it's time for Industrious Incisors. See what we find. We find the Arven. Giovanni's Charisma would have been pretty good as well. But I'm thinking we'll start with the Crushing Hammer. Now, what's the play here? Is the play we go for the hands, or is the play we go for the crown? Maybe the play is we just hit them with the hammer, hit them where it hurts. And we get rid of this energy here. So we make it even harder for them to amp. We go for the Arven here. Arven can grab us the Counter Catcher. And I think we do want to Counter Catcher up the Crown. I think we want to take the Crown out. Or we can just hit this hands and Tricky Steps it again, which isn't even the worst play. But then it's like, you know, okay, how many? They use only 1 generator. That's 5 energy, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 energies. They can just kind of bust through with generators and beat us that way. So I think really the only option is we KO this crown here. Yeah, I think we just go for the crown KO. They are weak to darkness, so we just hit them with that tricky steps, get them out of here. Hopefully we draw our other Gengar off the prizes. Fingers crossed for that. We did get it, thankfully. Sigh of relief. So now, if we need to, we can retreat this Gengar. But the tricky steps, or sorry, I should say, the gnawing curse is going to be a little bit more of a pain for them to deal with. You know, thankfully, we can retreat this Gengar and we can bring our other one up. Then we can, like, Giovanni's Charisma them and force them to have more energy than they need. We can also go for another Crushing Hammer if we're able to find it here. There's the generator like I was talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if they whiffed it, but if they hit 1 or 2, again, that's also pretty possible. They hit 2 off of it, so that's why I was saying, like, I don't think going for the Iron Hands is the correct play here. I just didn't think that it was the right call. Another generator is going to whiff completely. Like I said, I kind of figured that would happen. They're going to leave, get rid of, what's it called? They're going to retreat the crown, and it's definitely going to be like an arm press amp angle. I definitely see that because now they can like have counter catcher online once again, depending on how many they play. They played 2, they've already played the 2 Arven, so that could be good for us. An energy going down onto that hands on the bench, so they're going to get hit with the energy. Maybe they have the prime catcher and they're debating going for an amp play on something on the bench, and that will give us access to our last counter catcher, which can just win us the game here. So we'll see what they do. It is a boss play, so we actually should... Ooh, they're getting rid of Skwovet though. Ooh, I don't know how much I like that. They're gonna amp Skwovet. Okay. Okay, I see how it is. That's a little bit tricky. That makes things a little more difficult for us. We do have Lumineon access still, which can find us Arven. I believe we haven't played all the Arvens yet. Played 3. Okay, we'll lead this Gengar. This is going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be an interesting way to finish this game. We get the fish. Do we have the Arven in deck? We have the Arven. We have a counter catcher. GG's, boys. GG's. It is really nice to see you. It was nice to get to know you, but you are going to be officially cooked here. We get the Arven, and Arven can grab us the final counter catcher. I think they would have been better off if they just played into the arm press amp. There would have been nothing we could do about that, but because they decided to be a little too aggressive, tricky steps all the way, baby. Your Iron Crown is toast. He's gone, and I'll even give your other Iron Hands that energy, just because I'm such a nice guy. There we go. We get the KO. Finally, we have beaten Turbo Hands. Pretty soft matchup, if I'm being honest. Moving their energies around is really disruptive to them. But if they can come out with the aggression, it can be a little bit too tough for us to deal with, or can be their own demise. Our opponent has called the coin flip. They chose heads, so naturally, Tails never fails. Come on. Please, Tails. I guess not. Tails has not been our friend. And this is getting to be a problem. I can't have our opponents... You know, they can go first in this case because I want to go second, but I can't be having them win the flip every time. Tails, we got to have a talk. What's going on? We are going to get to have probably one of the most abysmal starts I've ever had with this deck. Lumineon in the active spot. At least we have a Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and there's a Midnight Fluttering. Them choosing to go first makes me think that this is a Lugia deck because sometimes Lugia plays Fluttermane for whatever reason. But it's going to be a Psychic Energy pass. Thankfully, we have something going on here. The Haunter as well. Buddy-Buddy Poffin will come through and just get us a Bidoof and a Gastly. And that is going to, you know, at least get us going a little bit here. I do think I want to Crushing Hammer away this energy, though. I don't want to risk anything. Or, you know, we just cannot draw anything. Or not get a heads, that's fine. And that's going to be my turn. So we'll see what they do. Hopefully they just Iono us for the good of all humanity at this point. There's going to be a League Headquarters, another Psychic Energy. Maybe this is a Spathra. And could be interesting. Could be very interesting. We get the Ultra Ball, which is really clutch right now. It's going to allow us to get ourselves a Bibarel. And take another look through the deck. We do have other Gengars. We've prized 2 Arvens and an Iono, which is a little bit tragic. But most of our other key pieces are here. No Neo Upper Energy can be a little bit of an issue, though. We're not aiming to get an attack this turn. They can Hex Hurl all they want. I fully intend to collapse this Lumineon away later on. Not right now. Later on. But we'll put this Bidoof down. We can throw down the TM Evo as well, honestly. I would like to get an energy, but that's kind of completely okay. We'll just pass on it over to them. Again, the Collapsed can stay. The League Headquarters stops them from attacking too. So again, not really the worst thing in the world. They can attach an energy, but they can't attack because of their own League Headquarters. But they're going to vacuum it away. Okay. Energy retrieval. I do think this is a Spathra EX and a Research going to get rid of an energy retrieval and a Banette. Okay. This is definitely a Spathra. And now, when I say a Spathra, don't think this is some meme. A Spathra, if you haven't heard, is an actual deck now, believe it or not. We're going to see the Flittles come down in a second for sure. And is the Flittle and the Noctu. And there we go. There is our good pal, a Spathra. Now, we're thankfully not weak to a Spathra, but we need to have 3 energy on a Haunter to attack in a Spathra. So that might be a little bit of a challenge for us. Thankfully, though, they're going to pass. They still got to get set up, and we're going to see what we can do here. We're definitely going to evolve. Now, Arven can get us a switch, but we need to find a little bit more here. I think definitely Arven is the right play. We'll go for the switch, and we can even just get... Oh, we can get Forest Seal. Okay, yeah. So we can just guarantee the attack for sure. We'll go into our good pal Gengar. I do want to get more stuff happening, though. Like, I want to get more stuff happening, and I want to throw the Collapsed on here. We do get the Buddy-Buddy, thankfully. So this is, yeah, pretty solid, actually, draws here. Well, Buddy-Buddy will go for double Gastly. Yeah, that's fine with me. And then we can just go ahead for Seal Stone first. I don't want to get rid of it before we use it. And we'll grab even the Earthen Vessel. I don't want the Earthen Vessel. I just want the energy. I'll tell you why this is a really good hand, and I want to discard it. That's why. We'll throw that down there, and we will Collapse Stadium, limiting their bench, but most importantly, getting rid of the Lumineon, which can be a little bit of a nuisance later on. And here comes Tricky Steps, gonna just destroy this Flutter Mane. And I don't even want to move any of these energies. They can just both go to the discard pile, considering they've gotten rid of, I think, 2 energy retrievals. One's in the Lost Zone, and one's in the discard pile. So now our opponent going to lead that other Flutter Mane. Gnawing Curse won't have any effect because of the Flutter Mane here, which is a little bit tragic. League Headquarters doesn't do anything to us, which is thankfully good. I mean, we don't want that. But here comes the Spathra. And now we're going to need to kind of clutch up, for lack of a better term. Here comes an Iono, which is fine. Our hand was good, though. I don't really like that. But we'll probably get another energy so we can power through a Spathra's Psy Ball attack. Now, the thing is about this, though, is they're not going to be able to retreat very easily in this case. An Ultra Ball going to get rid of a Shuppet, and a Buddy-Buddy get another Xatu. But they got to find some energies to attack here. If not, they might be screwed. We can go ahead and get an Ultra Ball to grab ourselves another... to grab ourselves some more Pokemon and such, probably another Gengar. But they have the double Clairvoyant Sense, so they're going to be able to get a Spathra powered up. If they have another energy, they can retreat and actually swing into us, which is pretty bad. They do have the other energy, which I'm not a huge fan of. And Gnawing Curse isn't really triggering because of Midnight Hurling, or Midnight Fluttering. That sucks. That really does suck. That's okay, though. We're going to be able to get another Gengar established pretty easily here. The Dark Patch is going to need to come in clutch at some point soon. Definitely some point soon. Here's an Ultra Ball, and the Ultra Ball will enable them to get some more stuff. But they're getting rid of the 2 energies here, which I find very interesting. Getting the 3rd Xatu for next turn. Do they have another energy in hand to retreat? Okay. Oh, they're going to attach to the... Very interesting play. Very interesting play. Here's our good pal Dark Patch. We were just talking about you, buddy. Okay, this is very interesting here. I think I'm going to use the Dark Patch. I think I might be ditching... Like, I need to attach this here. Can we ditch the Haunter? Like, this is definitely getting attached. I think ditching Haunter, unfortunately, is the right call here. I want to use the Rare Candy while I have it. We have Dark Patch as well, so we can begin to power up this Gengar. And then we can use something like... what's it called? We can use something like Neo Upper if we pull it off the prizes to be able to go from there. We get Boss, which is exactly what I wanted here. Buddy-Buddy will enable us to get nothing. I just want to put the Gastly down. And yeah, I want to get Boss. I want to bring a Spathra up. And I want you to get hit with the Tricky Steps. Tricky Steps, I want to move that energy away. You know, you can have it, Xatu. You're not using it. And I want to just move their energy all around. More importantly, they're not going to be able to actually power this Spathra up unless they switch. So they might just be stuck hitting us with a Psy Ball here. They have their Xatu, 2 cards in hand, one of which is likely a supporter. But yeah, I'm kind of fine here. Our Gastly's got free retreat, so we can use Dark Patch effectively later on. There's another energy on the Spathra, but a double Gnawing Curse is going to bite them down a little bit. The thing about Gnawing Curse as an ability is that it's not really the most effective when your opponent, you know, when you hit them, your opponent's already got high HP, and you just can't really do much from that, right? Like, it just gets kind of tough, you know? Because you're already going to be two-shotting them. It's not usually enough to KO your opponent unless you're up against something like Chen Pao and you happen to have, you know, 4 Gengars in play. We don't even play 4 Gengar, right? Like, it's a little bit, you know, tricky. There's the Psy Ball, which is going to enable them to hit us pretty hard, but no other attacker is in sight. And another Gengar coming down. This is going to be a treat for us. For sure. We got like the ideal Gengar board. If we played the 4th Gengar, we could even get the other one out most likely. But for now, this is what we'll have to deal with, and that's a-okay. I'm just going to tricky steps you. I'm not going to move these energies around or nothing like that. You're just going to get hit pretty hard, a Spathra, and yeah, you can just go ahead and get discarded. Now, I didn't want them to do any more damage to us, which is why I still elected to move that energy. You know, I didn't want us to be kind of, how do I put this? I didn't want us to be at risk of getting KO'd by something like a Psy Ball, a Super Psy Bolt from Xatu, which we would have, you know, if they did another 30 damage to us, putting us at 240. The Super Psy Bolt will KO us, but they're going to concede. No more attackers. We were able to get that clutch boss and just bully that Spathra out of its high damage. Nothing our opponent can do, and we take the dub. So what do you think of my Gengar EX deck? This deck is really fun to play. It's always awesome, I think, to play a Stage 2 deck in the format. That's not Charizard, or even... that's not Gardevoir. Gardevoir is still Gardevoir, right? Gardevoir would be doing Gardevoir things. It's really cool to play these off-meta Stage 2s, and while they might not be the meta, they might not be the best deck ever created, they're a lot of fun. They can win you games. You saw we won some games against Future Hands. We won games against meta decks in this video. And, you know, I've played games against Charizard where I've beaten them. I've played games against, like, Chen Pao where I've beaten them pretty badly. Like, there's a lot of different things here where Gengar has places to shine, and it's just a really fun deck. If you're willing to try out something new, you want to play a Bibarel TM Evo type deck, but you don't want to play Charizard, this might be the deck for you. We get to see Neo Upper Energy in action, which is always a treat. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below what do you think of this deck. What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you keep? What would you change? And subscribe to the Hitmonchanting channel. I'm posting multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week. And with all that said and done, once again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchanting out.